Hello, I'm Edward de Chazal from Jurassic Academic, and in today's presentation the topic is academic writing. My title is 10 Steps to Better Academic Writing. 10 Steps to Better Academic Writing. I'll go through the 10 steps in turn, and for each step I have some questions. Now these questions are for us as writers, as academic writers. And by thinking about these questions and answering them, we will improve our academic writing. It will become clearer and higher quality. Step 1. Genre, audience and purpose. The genre is the what. What am I writing? Audience, who am I writing for? Purpose, why am I writing? For example, what am I writing? Is it an essay, a report, a case study, a review, a critique, a proposal, a dissertation, an abstract? Whatever it is, it has its own characteristics, features, conventions, style, organisational patterns. These are familiar to its readers and its writers, and by studying them we can more effectively produce a similar kind of text within the expected conventions. Who am I writing for? Is it my tutor? Is it an external assessor? Is it my peer, another student? Is it someone else in the field, maybe in another country? That's my audience. Purpose. What's my purpose? Is it to explain, to report, to argue, to describe, to persuade perhaps? Texts have a particular purpose, and by knowing the purpose we'll produce a more effective text. Step 2. Structure, relevance and coherence. So I'll ask a few questions here. Looking at the title, will my audience's expectations be met? Is it clear? Does the material in the text develop logically and coherently? Does it make sense? Have I made connections between the material in the text clear? And are they explicit? Have I used the right language? If that's a cause and that's an effect, is that clear to my reader? Have I used appropriate language? Does the conclusion address the question explicitly? Does it provide an answer, even if it's a partial answer? Have I set the text within its context? And have I introduced the text to the audience and taken the audience out from the text and given them something to think about? Is any non-linguistic material in the text, such as graphics, graphs, tables, photos, data, is this clearly referenced? Is it relevant? Is it important? Is it useful? Step 3. Content. Have I included sufficient material? Do I cover the ground? Do I answer the question? Are the essential elements in the text, like definitions, examples, evaluation, sufficiently developed to meet the aims of the text? Does the text explore the topic from multiple perspectives? Are these appropriate? For example, environmental, ethical, technological, medical. These are the perspectives which we can explore our text, our topic from. And do my audience understand my meaning? Is it clear and unambiguous? Step 4. Research. Have I done some research? Have I read the literature? Do I know enough about it? Can I do more? Is it clear? Have I included enough in my text? Is the material that I've included carefully selected and presented? Crucially, is each idea in the text clear? Is it clear who owns it? Is it my idea as the writer, or is it from another source? Is it referenced? Step 5. Critical thinking. Have I included enough analysis, evaluation and interpretation in my text? Have I critically selected and synthesized the material? Have I included high quality citations and excluded low quality ones? And is my individual voice beginning to emerge in the text? Step 6, citation and academic conventions. Does every citation in the text have an entry in the references section? Does every references section entry have a citation? It must be a one-to-one relationship. Have I avoided plagiarism? Is it original? Is it my own material? Have I followed academic conventions? And is research presented clearly in line with conventions and expectations in the field? Step 7, discourse and cohesion. Discourse is the language of the text. Cohesion is how the meanings in the text are connected through language. So are the ideas in the text clearly connected using appropriate cohesive language? Have I taken responsibility to offer signalling and signposting? Have I told the reader where this text is going? Have I recapped, told them what I've said? Is that clear? Does my text have a sense of flow so that the audience can read it fluently, not jump around? Does it have this logical sense of flow throughout the text? Step 8, language, very important. Is the language, the vocabulary and grammar, appropriate for the genre, audience and purpose? Is it the right level of formality? Is it too informal or perhaps too formal? Are the grammatical structures, particularly noun phrases and clause structures, are they accurate and appropriate? Is there a good range? Is there a good variety of different language structures? Is there a good degree of accuracy, of structure, of spelling, of punctuation, of sentences? Have I defined concepts in the text clearly? Have I explained acronyms and abbreviations? And lastly, does the text sound good when I read it aloud? Does it flow? Does it come to life off the page? Try it. Try reading your text aloud. Step 9, culture. Am I consciously moving towards the target academic culture? It could be this global English medium culture. Am I beginning to understand that? And am I meeting the expectations of that writing culture? Step 10, learning and independence. This is about me as a learner, as a writer, and we're all learning to write. I've written thousands of words. I'm still learning how to write. I'm never perfect. I haven't arrived yet. I'm still learning. Am I maximising the opportunities in my writing, in the classroom, as a teacher or a student, to improve my writing? Am I using new skills, new language? Do I talk to my peers, friends, teachers? Am I discussing ideas, language? Am I putting skills and language into practice? Have I read feedback? Do I ask for feedback from different people? Do I act on this feedback? Is it measurably improving? Am I making the most of learning resources, technologies, available resources, people, books? Is my academic writing measurably improving? Look back at last year's writing, last month's writing. Is it better today? What am I doing to develop my independence as a student, as a writer? Am I moving away from dependence on my teacher, on my book, on my timetable lesson? Am I doing more that's independent? Am I improving in that way? And ultimately, what's my last goal? What would I like to achieve as a writer, as an academic writer in my field? And how can I get there? So those are my 10 steps to better academic writing. I'm Edward de Chazal from Jurassic Academic. Thank you very much for listening.